Hello and welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and this podcast is brought to you by thelegendarychiropractor.com, an interactive and immersive virtual platform for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field wanting just a little bit more from this profession. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, be sure to share with a friend, leave us a rate, leave us a review, and also be sure to subscribe to get more. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. Yo, what is going on, Legendary Chiropractors? Johnny Reuter here with another episode of the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I am coming to you live right now if you're watching this in our Chiropair and Legendary Chiropractor community group. If you are listening to this later on audio podcast or watching this later on a Facebook premiere, I welcome you to the show, and I thank you for listening, tuning in. Be sure to leave a rate, leave a review. Make sure you let people know about our show and about the things we're talking about, right? Not many people, if any people, are talking about the topics we kind of dive deeper into. I share my personal experiences with you, and you guys are kind of going along this journey with me from middle of, chiropractic school when I first started the Legendary Chiropractor to now where I'm, in the midst of my associateship as a chiropractor. And then I'll actually be transitioning out, moving into starting my own practice here in the next probably 8 months or so. So end of this year. So really, really cool stuff. Up and coming. And if you're listening to this later on audio podcast, be sure to check out Chiropair in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. If you're watching this live right now, make sure that you get on our beta wait list for Chiropair. This is going to be the best and most revolutionary way for chiropractic employment in regards to finding, hiring an associate, if it's your first or next one, or if you are looking for a chiropractic job to sell your practice, coverage work, independent contracting, etc. It's going to be the go-to place. So it's going to be really, really cool. We're going to bring people together. We're going to create a community. And that's what this is all about. At the end of the day, it's not only to create more of a streamlined community where it's not as noisy as Facebook, but it's also a very productive community where you're able to chat, video chat, like, bookmark, dislike, save people, do all sorts of cool things with one another's profiles, keeping it the look and feel of a social platform that we're all used to. But that's what this is all about, right? Creating community, camaraderie, and productivity enhancement, right? If we can enhance productivity in regards to finding an associate for a nominal monthly fee, man, it's a game changer. That's a game changer. So go check it out. If you're listening to this later on audio podcast, if you're listening to this live, click the link above, head to go.chiropair.com, and that's where you can find out more information about Chiropair. With that being said, let's dive in today. We're talking all about leading as an associate chiropractor. Leading as an associate chiropractor. What does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? How can you become a leader? A lot of people, there's this dogma, there's this stigma, there's this myth in chiropractic school that if you go and associate, you are less of a chiropractor, right? I want to completely wipe that away. I want to wipe that tarnished nonsense out of this profession. That is one of my goals, dreams, and desires in this profession. And as I continue to serve it, and especially continue to serve the students and the recent graduates, is to really, really, really make sure that people understand associating is not a bad thing. In fact, I would argue those that associate scale and grow their chiropractic practice even faster than ever before if they go and do some sort of short-term associateship, like 18 to 24 month associateship anywhere in the world. They learn the systems, they learn the business, they learn how to, talk to people, communicate, they learn how to adjust, they learn how to really apply chiropractic to the real world, because school does not teach you that. And any coaching management program that teaches you to just go out and start up right away by yourself, it's not a bad thing, because there are people made for it. I would argue though that majority of people are actually made to associate for a short period of time prior to committing themselves and their families, livelihood on the back of a business and a startup, right? Especially if you don't know those systems, those procedures, and that way of going about life quite yet. However, there is always the outlier. There's always what Mike Michalowicz says. There's always lightning in a jar, right? There's always those outliers. There's always that one-offs that make it happen and that are extremely successful right out of the gate with no help from others, right? And that's okay. But I encourage you to tap into help. I encourage you to watch these videos. I encourage you to listen to this podcast. I encourage you to find both virtual and physical mentors. That's what life is all about. If you can surround yourself by people who have already walked the path you want to walk and have done it successfully and created shortcuts for you, why not do it? Books, audiobooks, podcasts, mentors, conversations on the phone, via text, via messenger. Those are all shortcuts and cheat codes to life. Make sure you can start to read things, listen to things, do things, and apply things that will literally create that cheat code for life and create that cheat code for success. There's no such thing as overnight success, but if you can get to success faster than your mentors, that's what it's all about. That's what mentorship is all about. When I go to coach somebody someday, or I go to help somebody open up their own practice someday, or I hire an associate someday, I hope that they go out after 18 to 24 months with me and they freaking crush it and they double practice what mine currently is, right? They double their practice from what mine currently is and they're charging more, right? Because if that's the case, it makes this chiropractic profession that much healthier. And it also goes to show that the systems and procedures that I taught them not only work, they speak volumes and live on for millenniums at a time. And that's what matters at the end of the day, right? Because the more money they make, the better it is for chiropractic, the more money they can give back to the profession, and they can take care of themselves, their families, and their loved ones. And that's what this is all about. This profession can truly set you free if you allow it to, if you put in the work, you put in the grind, and you make sure that you are educating yourself, your community, and your loved ones in the process. Man, you can do really big things. You can do really, really, really big things. So just know that. Now, in regards to associating, top 3 things that we tell you to do or encourage you to do as an associate when it comes to leading as an associate. My great friend, Dr. Jared Knight Bryant. If you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. He's fantastic. They just had a kiddo. I'm so happy for them. But the cool part about it is when I graduated from Life University, I was a peak intern at Dr. Sam Clavel's office, Life Giving Chiropractic in Austell, Georgia. And Dr. Jagarin gave me a book that was all about how to lead when you're not in charge. And he was associating at the time and still is associating at this time of recording this. But I read that book in like 2 days because it was so fascinating to me. It was so interesting to me. And it was so compelling that you can actually step up and be a leader, and be a voice of reason when you are actually not necessarily in charge, right? And that is the exact position that you are in and placed in every single day as an associate chiropractor. You're not in charge. You don't own the business. You don't run the business. You don't make necessarily business decisions for the business. You're an associate chiropractor. You show up, you are an employee. You show up, you do your job, you do really, really well at it, and you go home at night and you get paid bi-weekly. That's how it works. You get paid a salary and you get paid bonuses. That's how it works, right? Now, an associateship is a little different than other things out in the world, like especially if you're doing a business, a business preceptorship or something along those lines in a different major or category. But when it comes to chiropractic and leading in chiropractic, there are 3 key components that we oftentimes share and tell people to do. Number 1 is you have to learn how to overserve your patients and show up every day with a smile on your face, right? Number 1 is you can't have a bad night's rest. You can't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And I said this when I spoke to a group of students back in when I was about to graduate from chiropractic school. And I said, as a chiropractor, you can't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And if you do, you better have a good methodology of clearing your head before you go in to serve patients. It's the last thing that they need. It's the last thing your business needs, and it's the last thing your community needs. So you want to make sure you got a clear head. You want to make sure you're showing up every single day, over serving with a smile on your freaking face, because that's what they need. They deserve the best intentions. They deserve the highest of intentions. And it's okay if someone tells you no. It's okay if somebody turns you away for care. It's okay if they say, oh, I prefer the head chiropractor over you. That's okay, right? It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong at that point. As long as you know that you left it all on the field for what you know at this point in time, that's what matters. That's what truly matters. So show up every single day with a smile on your face and learn to overserve patients. If they ask you a question, if you don't have an answer, go research it for them. Give it to them on their next visit. If you do have an answer, give them your best opinion and or answer based on research, based on what you've seen in case studies, based on what you know just generally about the knowledge that you've gained throughout your chiropractic experience so far. Give them everything you got, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Number two is not only show up every day with a smile on your face and learning to overserve patients, but it's also it goes side by side with this. It's also having a false sense of confidence, right? Have a false sense of confidence until you can become competent, right? And until you're competent, you're not necessarily confident, right? If you're not competent in what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're adjusting, all of these different things that you have to do as a chiropractor and as an associate chiropractor, if you're not competent in those skills, create false confidence for yourself. Create false confidence until you can get to that competency level, and now you have the utmost confidence going into that room. You know what you got to say, you know what you got to do, and at the end of the day, if they don't, sign up for care or choose you as a chiropractor, that's okay. Again, you left it all on the field, and that's what matters most. That's what matters most. So have that false sense of confidence. I'm not telling you to go out there and lie to people. I'm not telling you to go out there and speak falsehoods. I'm telling you to have the utmost confidence in yourself, right? Even if it is false, saying, hey, I am great. I am going to be better for patients today. I am going to put my best foot forward today to make these patients the best that they can be, and to help them get under chiropractic care to truly change their life, right? That's the false confidence you need in order to build that competent level, and then have that true confidence that you desire and that you need. The next thing that I'm going to say here, the third and last thing I'm going to say here, is be a freaking sponge. This is bullet point number 3, key takeaway number 3. Be a freaking sponge. If you can show up every day with a smile on your face, you can show up every day with some false confidence until you become competent, and you can show up as a sponge and want to learn from that head chiropractor and the team, right? That's how you become a great leader. Not only in the practice, not only for the patients, but also when you go to apply this, if your dream is to open your own practice someday, this is going to serve you tenfold. Be a sponge. Take constructive feedback. Take criticisms. Take people saying, I prefer the head chiropractor. Why is that, right? Why is that? Do they like their adjusting better? Is it something that I said? Is it something I did? All sorts of different things can apply to that, but make sure that you understand where people are coming from and be a sponge. Don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get your undies all in a bunch. That's okay. It's okay to get feedback. It's okay to have people have preferences. That's totally normal. That's human nature. But also understand where that reaction's coming from, where that feedback's coming from, where that criticism's coming from, so that you can make yourself better. And always listen to the head chiropractor, right? Take what you will from them. Don't take everything. Take what you love. Take what you hate. Take what you want to learn and be better about when it comes to your practice. Those are all different things. Everyone's their own different leader. And if you can truly step into who that is for you, then at the end of the day, that's what matters most. So show up with a smile every single day, wanting to overserve patients. Next thing is to make sure that you are able to show some false confidence until you become competent. The third thing is show up as a sponge, ready to learn, ready to hit the ground running. And if there's a new thing, a new thing in the office, be the first to want to learn it. Be the first to fail. The faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the faster you learn, the better you become. It's just the way that it is. It's the way that life works, no matter if it's chiropractic, if it's finances, if it's business, if it's all different, categories. The faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the faster you become the best version of yourself. Whew! Bringing the heat this morning. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you have a very powerful rest of your week this week, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave us a rate, leave us a review, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope those top 3 things help you a lot moving forward, and I love talking about associating. I love talking about associateships. I love talking about preceptorships. I love students getting help right after graduation before they jump in and go into their own thing and do their own thing, because I want you to scale faster. I want you to scale and grow faster, and I want you to be the best clinician and doctor possible. And when you have the skill sets and the systems and the procedures behind you to do that, you're going to be that much better off. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day today, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace and love, my friends. Bye. Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of ChiroSecure Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made ChiroSecure the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chirosecure.com. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. Dr. Brad Glowacki runs one of the highest volume, highest profile, highest profitability practices in the world, and it's all run with vitalistic communication procedures. Those procedures from his office are then shared with other chiropractors at his various trainings as a part of Level Up Mentoring. This information is created, developed, tested, and then packaged simplistically before being taught. With bruises and scars from making mistakes, Dr. Glow always delivers refined content that is battle-tested and simplified for use on Monday. To level up your life and practice, head over to levelupmentoring.rocks. That's levelupmentoring.rocks. Again, I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and you're listening to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for engaging with us on all of our platforms, including but not limited to Facebook and Instagram, all at The Legendary Chiropractor. Be sure to check our home site out at thelegendarychiropractor.com, as we have much to offer for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field. And lastly, I'd like to thank not only you, our listener, but also our podcast sponsors. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. So I encourage you to go check out their websites, and what they have to offer in the show notes for this episode. Thanks again. Stay legendary, my friends.